Many people believe that serious heart problems appear suddenly, but in reality, they often develop quietly over time, especially after the age of 60. The body changes with age and the heart becomes more sensitive to daily habits, particularly diet. What makes this dangerous is that the damage does not usually come with immediate symptoms. A person can feel completely fine while harmful processes are slowly taking place inside the body. Arteries may begin to stiffen, plaque can start to build up, and blood pressure may gradually rise, all without any obvious warning signs. This silent progression is what makes certain everyday foods so risky, because they are consumed regularly without a second thought. Foods that seem normal, convenient, or even comforting can contribute to long-term heart damage when eaten consistently. Over time, excess salt can increase blood pressure, unhealthy fats can raise cholesterol levels, and added sugars can trigger inflammation. These effects do not happen overnight, but they accumulate day after day, meal after meal. After 60, the body is less efficient at processing these harmful components, which means the impact becomes stronger and more unnoticeable internally, even if it is not immediately felt externally. The heart is forced to work harder to pump blood through narrowing arteries. This extra strain can eventually lead to serious conditions like heart disease or stroke. Another challenge is that many of these foods are deeply rooted in daily routines and cultural habits, making them difficult to recognize as harmful. People often continue eating the same meals they have enjoyed for decades, assuming that what worked in the past will still be safe now. However, aging changes how the body responds, and what was once manageable can become a hidden threat. Lack of visible symptoms can create a false sense of security, delaying necessary changes until the damage becomes significant. Understanding this silent impact is the first step toward protecting heart health. By becoming more aware of how everyday foods influence the body over time, it becomes easier to make better choices and reduce long-term risks. Processed meats and high-sodium foods are some of the most overlooked threats to heart health, especially after the age of 60. These foods are often chosen for their convenience, taste, and long shelf life. They come with hidden dangers that build up over time. Items like sausages, deli meats, canned products, and packaged meals are typically loaded with salt, preservatives, and unhealthy fats. While they may seem harmless when eaten occasionally, regular consumption can place a significant burden on the heart and blood vessels. One of the biggest concerns with these foods is their high sodium content. Sodium causes the body to retain water, which increases the volume of blood flowing through the vessels. Added volume puts extra pressure on artery walls, leading to higher blood pressure. Over time, consistently elevated blood pressure forces the heart to work harder than it should, weakening it and increasing the risk of serious conditions such as heart attacks and strokes. After 60, this effect becomes even more pronounced because the blood vessels naturally lose some of their flexibility, making it harder for the body to handle increased pressure. In addition to sodium, processed meats often contain saturated fats and chemical preservatives that further harm the cardiovascular system. Saturated fats can raise levels of bad cholesterol in the blood, which contributes to the buildup of plaque inside the arteries. This plaque narrows the pathways through which blood flows, reducing oxygen supply to the heart and other vital organs. As the arteries become more restricted, the risk of blockages increases, which can lead to life-threatening events. The issue is that many people underestimate how frequently they consume these foods. A sandwich made with deli meat, a quick canned soup, or a ready-to-eat frozen meal may seem like small choices, but they add up quickly throughout the day. Because these items are so common in everyday diets, the total intake of sodium and unhealthy fats can become much higher than expected without the person even realizing it. The cumulative effect of these dietary habits can quietly damage the heart over time. Without obvious warning signs, the strain continues to build, making it essential to recognize the impact of these foods and consider healthier alternatives that support long-term heart function. Sugary drinks and refined carbohydrates may seem harmless or even enjoyable parts of daily life, but they can have a serious impact on heart health, especially after the age of 60. These foods and beverages are quickly broken down into sugar in the body, causing rapid spikes in blood glucose levels. While the body can handle occasional increases, frequent spikes create stress on the system and lead to long-term damage. Over time, this repeated cycle can contribute to insulin resistance, where the body struggles to manage blood sugar effectively, increasing the risk of conditions that directly affect the heart. Sugary drinks such as soft drinks, packaged juices, sweetened beverages are particularly harmful because they deliver large amounts of sugar in a very short time. Unlike solid foods, these liquids do not make you feel full, so it becomes easy to consume excess calories without realizing it. This often leads to gradual weight gain, which puts additional strain on the heart. Extra body weight forces the heart to work harder to supply oxygen and nutrients throughout the body, increasing the risk of high blood pressure and other cardiovascular issues. Refined carbohydrates like white bread, pastries, Processed snacks act in a similar way once they are digested. They lack fiber and essential nutrients, causing them to be absorbed quickly into the bloodstream. This leads to sharp increases in blood sugar followed by sudden drops, which can leave a person feeling tired and craving more sugary foods. This cycle not only affects energy levels but also places repeated stress on blood vessels, contributing to inflammation and damage over time. After the age of 60, the body becomes less efficient at regulating blood sugar levels, making these effects more pronounced. The combination of sugar spikes, inflammation, and increased fat storage can gradually lead to the narrowing of arteries and reduced blood flow. This creates an environment where heart disease can develop silently, without immediate symptoms. Because these foods and drinks are so common, many people consume them daily without recognizing the long-term consequences. What feels like a simple habit can slowly impact heart health in ways that are not immediately visible, but become significant over time. Fried foods are often some of the most tempting items in any diet, known for their crispy texture and rich flavor. They can be especially harmful to heart health after the age of 60. The process of deep frying involves cooking food in oils at very high temperatures, which causes the food to absorb large amounts of unhealthy fats. These fats, particularly trans fats and certain saturated fats, have a direct impact on cholesterol levels in the body. They tend to increase low-density lipoprotein, often referred to as bad cholesterol, while reducing high-density lipoprotein, the good cholesterol that helps protect the heart. This imbalance in cholesterol creates the perfect conditions for plaque to form inside the arteries. Over time, this plaque builds up along the artery walls, narrowing the space through which blood can flow. As the arteries become more restricted, the heart must work harder to push blood through the body, increasing strain on the cardiovascular system. For individuals over 60, this is particularly concerning because the arteries naturally lose elasticity with age, making them less capable of adapting to increased pressure or blockages. Another issue with fried foods is the type of oils often used in commercial preparation. Many restaurants and food vendors reuse oils multiple times, which leads to the formation of harmful compounds during repeated heating. These compounds can promote inflammation within the body, further damaging blood vessels and contributing to the progression of heart disease. Even when fried foods are prepared at home, the use of certain cooking oils can still introduce unhealthy fats that negatively affect heart health when consumed frequently. Regular consumption of fried foods also tends to be associated with higher calorie intake, which can lead to weight gain over time. Excess body weight increases the workload on the heart, as it must pump blood more efficiently to support a larger body mass. This added strain can contribute to elevated blood pressure and reduced overall cardiovascular function. What makes fried foods particularly risky is how easily they become a regular part of the diet. Whether it is fried snacks, fast food meals, or traditional dishes, these items are often eaten without considering their long-term impact. Over time, the combination of unhealthy fats, increased cholesterol levels, added strain on the heart creates a gradual but serious risk to overall heart health. Excessive salt and hidden trans fats are two of the most underestimated threats to heart health, particularly after the age of 60. Many people assume that simply avoiding adding extra salt to meals is enough, but the reality is that a large portion of daily sodium intake comes from packaged and processed foods. Items like canned soups, sauces, snacks, ready-made meals often contain high levels of salt to enhance flavor and preserve shelf life. This makes it easy to consume far more sodium than the body actually needs without even realizing it. When sodium levels are consistently high, the body begins to retain more water to balance it out. This increase in fluid raises blood volume, which in turn puts added pressure on the walls of blood vessels. Over time, this constant pressure leads to hypertension, or high blood pressure, which is one of the leading risk factors for heart disease. After 60, the blood vessels become less flexible, making it harder for them to handle this increased pressure, and forcing the heart to work harder to maintain proper circulation. At the same time, hidden trans fats present another serious risk. These fats are often found in margarine, baked goods, and many packaged snacks. They're created through a process that makes oils more stable, but in doing so, they become harmful to the body. Trans fats raise bad cholesterol levels while lowering good cholesterol, disrupting the balance that is essential for maintaining clear and healthy arteries. This imbalance encourages the buildup of plaque, narrowing the arteries and restricting blood flow to the heart. The combination of high sodium and trans fats creates a dangerous environment within the body. Blood pressure rises, arteries become clogged, the heart is forced to work under constant stress. What makes this even more concerning is that these effects develop gradually, often without noticeable symptoms in the early stages. Because these ingredients are hidden in so many everyday foods, they can easily become a regular part of the diet. Without awareness, a person may continue consuming them daily, allowing the damage to build over time and increasing the risk of serious heart-related conditions